Hi everyone, and welcome to SAMA episode 180. They said we'd never reach this landmark, but here we go. The topic for today is Soul Awakening for Human Energy Level Ascension. I'll be talking about how to raise your energy level, change the things that you do during the day, make it part of your lifestyle so you can gain a better life through having more energy. Now, I'd like to welcome everyone that's online. The advantage of being online, of course, that you can ask questions and annoy me as the SAMA goes by. We are live streaming on YouTube, so hello to all our YouTube viewers. Without any further ado, I'd like to start with this presentation. So I'll just try and find where it is. Keynote, that's there. Now, let's have a look. Now, Yura, if you're listening, can you confirm, please, that the presentation is being shown? In fact, I can see chats. Look at that, I can see chats. Oh, great. Okay, Alexandra has told me he's gained himself one spooky point. Thank you. And yep, great. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, follow the sages and never forget why you started. Sages, the wise from the past, and don't forget why you started. You could also say, don't forget your purpose in life. Now, I'm not going to talk anything about religion. It's nothing about religion. It's to do with what a very clever person in the past discovered and sharing his insights today. The levels of the human body. This very clever gentleman, his name was Dr. David R. Hawkins. He is very famous. He was a doctor of psychology and a psychotherapist. And he was a life member of the American Psychiatric Association. Now, he was engaged in psychiatric treatments since 1952. For a long time, he was deeply entrenched in humanity forces, life forces of humanity. And he co-authored the innovative book, Orthomolecular Psychiatry. He was a gentleman who, when he said things, people listened. So what I'm going to show you is what he developed through the course of his years in looking and treating patients, people. And his what he discovered is quite profound. His work was over the course of 30 years, thousands of individuals and millions of data points where he could, being a scientist by nature, he could pinpoint details. And he did experiments in various regions. A problem, of course, with lots of things developed now, albeit medications or other many other things, they may only do a small pocket of the population, and it doesn't address the variations that there are between ethnicities, even between men and women, and goodness knows there's enough differences in that. He's covered several states and all of Northern Europe using randomized test subjects. So these are test subjects that he didn't select himself, and they represented diverse races, cultures, professions, and age groups, collectively called humans. And he found that different levels of human consciousness correspond to distinct energy levels. We're on page 2 and my voice is really failing me. To be fair, during the course of a day, I'd only talk about 3 or 4 sentences. I'm a bloke, okay? That's what we do. And he created the spectrum consciousness energy scale. And it really did amaze the world. And 2 of his greatest breakthroughs were introducing scientific experimentation into the moral and spiritual realm. And he distinguished and quantified using numbers. He scaled the positive and negative aspects of spirituality. Qualities like tolerance and courage, they bring about positive energy. And he found out that tolerance brought about a higher energy level than courage, but both were better than anger. He was knighted by the Danish royal family. Sorry. Ah, dear. Me and my voice. Okay, now this is the scale that he created. It goes pretty much from 0 up to 1,000. Now, this is not anything to do with religion. It's human traits that he has allocated a number to according to what he measured with regards to the amount of energy, if you like, the person has as a result of that trait. Now, 85% of the population have an energy level scale of 200 or less. And those are the, here you'll see the traits that correspond to an energy level of 200 or less. So most people will have these kinds of traits in their personality. Moving up, the better souls, all the way up to 500, 11% of people also have the ability to be neutral, willingness, acceptance, reason, and love. Love doesn't just mean loving your spouse. Love here is meaning a love for humanity, and on a greater scale, a love for sentient beings, things that are alive. 3.6% reach the level of 540. And they talk about joy. Joy doesn't mean going down a slide and being happy, and so you get a sudden spirit of joy. Here we're talking about an all-enveloping joy for life. It's a different emotion. And peace, 0.39%. Now, this is actually quite easy to believe, looking at the world and the state it is now, where we have world leaders throwing their toys at each other at the cost of human life, suffering, at the cost of humanity. The reason for them doing this is generally it's through greed and ignorance. One world leader wants to take areas of another country. It might be advantageous politically, militarily, and they do it. And they disregard the cost, because they themselves don't realize that they will later on have to bear the price that they are having to pay. And they will suffer, but maybe not in this lifetime. But only 0.39% of people reach the level of 600. And at the very top level, here we're talking about prophets, we're talking about saints, 700 to 1,000, enlightenment. That's extremely rare. Let's talk about the levels in more detail. Neutrality. An individual at this level believes in causality and accepts everything calmly and gracefully. You'll notice that when I'm going through the steps in more detail, I've disregarded 200 and below for good reason. We want to strive to better ourselves. And the best way to do that is to talk about where we're headed, not where we are now. So neutrality. People that can step aside and look at and take an overview of the situation and make a wise decision. Reason, level 400. A person who, as at the level 400, pursues the truth, has few desires, has no ambition for fame and gain, has selfless wisdom, and has both ability and political integrity. I can't think of many people who have this level. I can think of some. Let's think if you've got few desires. That doesn't mean that you've got no desires. And the desires you have won't be for self. Because you've got no ambition for fame or gain. What is there left? What is left is to raise humanity. And so it's selfless wisdom, learning to help others. But you've still got ability and you've still got political integrity. What you do is what you said you'd do, and it will be honest. Now, the people that I can think of who are up to 400, I can count. Well, actually, I'm quite lucky because my circle of friends, you can't choose family, but you can choose friends. And we've chosen friends who have become family or as good or better than family. And we actually do have quite a few people in our family circle, which are 400 or even more. I'll be talking about this a little bit later too. Love. Not talking about loving of a spouse, loving of a pet, but treating all life with compassion and committed to helping others awaken. And what does awaken mean in this context? It means realize. I guess you can substitute the word realize. Helping others realize the benefits to others by reaching that level of compassion. Pardon me. Joy. Okay, this isn't the joy of spontaneous happiness. An individual who has the level of joy, 540, cares for others and society constantly. So it's not like you've just seen something on the news, you feel sad for the people, and you donate some money for them, and then that's it. You constantly feel that compassion. You spread peace and love, and you're filled with joy as a result of this practicing compassion. So it's a selfless joy. It's not a joy because you yourself are happy. It's a joy because of what you're doing to others, and you are feeling that joy. Now we're going to the dizzying heights of 600, peace. Okay, an individual who's reached this level is very rare. They will be a life spiritual teacher, not necessarily a teacher that's a certified teacher, registered to teach in certain areas, but they themselves will be a spiritual teacher. They don't have the qualifications, but they do, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And they're dedicated to the improvement and awakening of human consciousness. Again, it's drawing from caring for others and society constantly, the lower level of joy. The higher the level, the further you look from yourself and the more you look at others. Now, enlightenment, that's something completely different again. Having witnessed the truth of life and the universe, an individual of the enlightenment level has reached the zenith of human consciousness and can affect the energy levels of all humans. And it's got to be said that this level is beyond human understanding. So here we're looking at people that have been in the Bible and other religious books. Very, very rare. People that have truly changed and with abilities way beyond normal people. So there you go, from 700 to 1,000. Okay, well, we've talked numbers. How do we find out what numbers are for what trait? How was this all brought about? Well, whenever any thought arises in your head, there is a conversion of energy. Energy isn't just picking up something. It could be a glass, which I'll just make it a little bit lighter. It's not necessarily doing something physical. It can be your thought process as well. And as a result, even thoughts can be uplifting. Thoughts can make you happy, can make you sad. It takes energy to change an emotion. So thoughts are certainly a conversion of energy. Now, the fluctuations or changes of an individual's energy state are directly related to their state of mind. Now, I've known this intuitively for quite a while, and I was so happy when I saw this information a while ago. I thought, yes, that perfectly aligns to my belief. I truly believe that your own thoughts, even if you don't put thoughts into action, directly changes your energy state. Now, Dr. Hawkins, he went through millions of data sets, hundreds and thousands of people, and he found that positive mental states like honesty, compassion, and understanding can enhance willpower and the physical strength. Now, just think about it, physical strength. Here we've got someone, he is saying that if you're honest, compassionate, and have great understanding, your physical strength will increase. And that, I believe, is absolutely true. It can change the vibrational frequency of particles in the body. Well, people can't see that, so that's hard to prove. It improves physical and mental well-being and entire life processes. Now, that is absolutely true again. A person who is pessimistic usually has a poorer state of health than someone who is optimistic. And the pessimism is before your health declines. I've seen people that are sick that have got positive states of mind, and they're living life to the full still. They're not letting their illness take control over their happiness. Now, they found that the factors that significantly influence or determine an individual's spiritual energy state, well, it's not necessarily spiritual energy state, it is their internal energy state. You could explain it like this, but it does not include their education level, how many letters they have after their name, their life experience, their power, wealth, and social status, or how fast their car goes. They are not, it's not related in the slightest to one's energy level, which is kind of cool for the paupers like ourselves. It doesn't matter, you can raise yourself. The key factors that do determine an individual's spiritual energy level are their social motives and state of mind. And both of those are internal, they're inside you, they're in your head. No one can take this away from you. No one can make you do this. It's got to be from you. So let's think about it for a minute before we go on any further. Here I'm saying that there's something that you can do. It doesn't cost any money. There's nothing to lose. There's everything to gain. There's got to be a catch, right? Have you ever been to a job interview, as an example, and the person's asking you questions, they answer back? The answer you give back is the filtered thoughts that are inside your head, but your brain is thinking so much more. You might be thinking, gosh, there's he forgot to shave under his nose and things like this. That is a negative thought. But if you can harness the energy of positive thoughts, recognize when you have negative thoughts and try and push them away, and realize that doing so will benefit you both in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Why don't we do it? Why don't we dive a little bit further and see what we need to do to actually implement what I'm trying to say? You know, I said at the start of the seminar, I won't talk about religion, but I'll talk a little bit. In the Bible, it states that a thought of doing a crime is the same as doing a crime, or words to that effect. Here, I'm trying to explain to you that if you can change thoughts of crime into thoughts of goodness and happiness and giving, and less thinking about oneself, what am I going to gain after this conversation? But think, how can I help the people I'm associating with? Then you'll see immense changes. In fact, we do that. Maybe that's in verbosing these thoughts now really highlights. You know, Spooky, we do a lot of charity work now. We don't think of self. We do the charity work on behalf of you. You have made this possible through sales. When you buy something, the profits go to charity. And until right now, I never kind of thought about it, but we're not thinking about ourselves. And I've often told the people here in Spookyville, I don't like to tell people what charity work we're doing. And it's true, I do not like it. It's like showing off. And then it's like self again. And we don't do it for that reason. We are proud of doing what we're doing, but we don't do it for recognition. And the argument went on for a little while, and it eventually came down to, yes, we do it to encourage other people to do the same. Now, we've got a coffee time coming up, and we'll be talking about our charity work then. It's truly not about us, and it's not about wanting you to think we are a fantastic company. It's nothing like that, nothing at all. It's to do with helping other people and letting people know that there is a way you can help things, help other people in other countries. And that's why we'll be doing it, okay? Back on track again, I suppose. That your beliefs, your motives, your ethics, and your state of mind all determine your energy level. And your energy level, in return, determines everything in life. Everything in your life and in the lives of people around you. People whose lives you've touched in some good way. How can a belief change things for the better? Or motives or ethics, state of mind? All of these things are happening in your head. No one knows by looking at me what I'm thinking. and the same for you. So how on earth can it change everything in life ultimately? Well, it does. Absolutely does. It doesn't matter what religion you are, or even if you've got no religion, what spirituality beliefs you have. All these things which I am talking about now are human traits, things that cannot be argued. We all have beliefs. We all have different beliefs, belief systems, things which we think are crazy that other people think are true. But the belief of direction, ideals, and an unwavering heart, the motive of the intention, why do you do something? Usually it's for self, normally it's for selfish reasons, even if you don't think so initially. When you boil it down, most things we do are for selfish reasons. Your ethics, your moral and personal principles, what to do and what not to do, how to do something. I would expand on that too. Do you have rules defined through penalties? You don't go 60 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, because the rule is you go 50 or less. And the penalty is monetary. If you exceed the speed limit, then you get fined. If you can adhere to your principles without the need for negative what's the word? Can't help me. Without punishment, if you fail to do so, if you can just through the love of your heart do things and do the right thing, then you've ticked that one there with the good ethics. In your state of mind, wisdom takes effort. It isn't just delivered to you on a silver platter. Wisdom you will almost certainly have to seek out. Of course, you get life wisdom through experiences, but other deeper wisdom you have to seek out. Mercy, thankfully, most of us are blessed with that by our innate human nature. Equality, what is equality? Equality is regarding everyone as equals, not regarding someone who is a stranger as being lesser in any way, someone who's got a physical disability or mental disability or any disability to be any less than yourself. Any less than yourself. We are equals. Universal love and tolerance. Yeah, they're all very, very important traits that we all need to work on. We all can improve. Okay, so therefore, everyone will be responsible for our every thought, word, and action. The thoughts you're having now, gosh, John doesn't half like to ramble. That's a negative emotion. Thinking positive. Yeah, I'm actually gaining a bit from this and I can use it in everyday life. There's practical examples which I'll be coming to very soon. So just hang in there. Now, causality is with the thought that everything that you do has repercussions. Every action has a reaction. The reaction may not happen now and may not happen for many years from now. But ultimately, there will be a reaction for everything that we do. Everything good, everything bad. It's not as simple as thinking of, you can't think simplistically like karmic points. If you do a lot of bad things and then you do even more good things and think, well, okay, that's great. I've balanced the scales. It doesn't work like that. For things that you do that are bad, you will suffer. Think about it. That's causality. Okay, energy levels, comparison and revelation. Research has shown that reaching an energy state of 250 is the beginning of a meaningful and fulfilling life. I'd go along with that. 250 means that you found inner peace and you're ready to discover outer peace. It's the energy state where an individual starts to be confident and willing to improve and lead a life with faith. Now, the biggest secret in helping humans, that's you and me, most of us anyway, elevate energy levels. The key is to know that everything has a certain energy level. Some things will sap energy and some things will replenish. Even everyday things that you use during the day, like books, food, even water, clothing, people, animals, buildings, cars. Cars. I've had some cars that have really been draining and some cars that have been uplifting. Movies, sports, music, and basically everything that you can look at and touch, they all carry a certain energy level. Your thoughts and words also have an energy level. So we're living in a whole soup of energy levels. Now, the thing is this, where you gravitate to, where you lead, is where you'll end up. And so you've got to be careful who you associate with, what activities you do. We all know about the food and the water, but let's say the books. You might enjoy crime novels, horror novels. Those are draining. Some novels, ones that are educational, that give you some wisdom, that give to you in some way, are uplifting and have positive energy. How to improve the human energy scale. If you have strong willpower, have a strong sense of gratitude, and have an open mind, an empty cup attitude. A strong willpower is needed because some parts of this path are not easy. You've got to maintain the path. If you have a strong sense of gratitude, gratitude towards others, being gracious for being alive, being gracious to be in a position where you can help others, being fortunate enough to put your hand in your pocket and find a few round metallic objects that you can put over a counter and get something in exchange. Or the same objects you can give to people that don't have these round metallic objects in their pockets. And have an open mind and empty cup attitude. Actually, this is one of the biggest obstacles we all have. An open mind doesn't mean accepting everything, but it's to maybe give everything a bit of thought time and not disregarding it outright. Empty cup means able to receive knowledge. It doesn't mean being clueless. Right, tick that box. Empty cup just means it can hold more. So, yeah, if it's important. Actually, this is just an aside. Religion has almost become a blockage for personal growth in a way. But hear me out. Now, I've got a very open mind. Put into a corner, I'd say that I am a Christian Buddhist. I truly believe that most religions they prevent you from looking either side. And Me, myself, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's wise. I certainly would never like to be told I can't walk into a temple because I'm a Presbyterian. I can't go into a Buddhist temple or, Anglican or Catholic or Protestant or, yeah. It's the hard and fast rules I don't like so much. I like to look and learn and ponder. I was born with a brain. We all are. And I like to exercise it. I like to think. I like to think deep. And I like to learn. I might learn something and think this is totally rubbish, and then I disregard it. But at least the disregarding is from a learned point of view, not because I've been told not to open that kind of book or to talk to these kinds of people or engage in these types of conversation. I am my own boss, but I still follow. I follow the sages. Meditation. Meditation, it's a page without any words, so I better fill it up with some words. All meditation is. Now, I was doing meditation, but I was thinking to myself, this is crazy. I'm doing meditation, and no one's actually explained to me what meditation is. So I was looking at it on a physical perspective. I was thinking, okay, it's for relaxation, just so that I can get out of meditation and feel joyous and energized and recharged. And this is how it was explained to me, to be fair, but actually meditation is not about that. Alex, I'll tell you now what meditation is all about. This is what I've come to know. It's about connecting with yourself. When you meditate, you become more sensitive to your own thoughts, more sensitive to things that are happening in your life. And that's it. Nothing more. At least in the start of meditation, when you're doing meditation, it's all to do with just learning how to truly, truly listen to the universe. Nothing else, nothing else. And people do, transcendental meditation, they float and they do all sorts of things. Yeah, that's great, it's fun. But the true purpose of meditation is to realize self. The next level, for those who are still awake, is realizing non-self. And you gain that through the contemplation, through meditation. When you practice meditation, which is just finding somewhere to sit down, and they say cross your legs and sit up, but you don't have to. People can meditate lying down. People can meditate before going to sleep. It really doesn't matter. This is arguing little details. The important thing is to make yourself sensitive to everything that's happening inside your body, and then just trying to block all the outside thoughts out. So you become your own little world, your own little universe. The next step is to letting go of everything that you've learned up to then. And so there's all of a sudden, instead of everything being self, there is no self. And that's when you start feeling the connection, the realization that we are the universe. We are everything. When you help other people, you're helping a family. When you're helping an animal, you're helping family. The animal can be a stray. It doesn't matter. You are helping family. And so those are the words I've filled in for this page. That's what meditation is all about, just sensitizing yourself. Once I came to realize that, it became easy. I am by nature a scientific person, and I like to know why I'm doing something. Of course, why I do 20 minutes of meditation. I want to know what I'm supposed to be doing and what the end goal is. Otherwise, I'm thinking I'm failed. I'm thinking I can't meditate because my mind's always thinking. They call it the dancing monkey. You're thinking about this and thinking about that. When you start doing meditation, it's going to happen. Well, that's good. That's great. Let your mind go. But there's a trick. You think about, oh, I've got to buy the groceries. Try and step back and observe your mind dancing and thinking about all these things. Monitor yourself. Become part of an experiment on yourself. Only you know. You don't have to explain to anybody. You think, okay, I'm thinking about groceries. Why was I thinking about groceries? And just let your mind drift and watch your mind drift, because that is all part of self-realization. That's part of realizing that the universe is you. It's important. Then you will find that you can meditate without thought. And then you get to the stage of no self, where the meditation suddenly becomes incredibly rewarding. You can, rewarding in the sense of you become more wise. Your brain starts working in a different way, and you come to realize things that until then you just had no idea existed or were possible or was thinkable. It's very hard to put into words, but I think I've explained reasonably well the purpose of meditation. And yeah, you can do yoga and all the rest of it. It's great. It's good. It's important to keep a healthy body, healthy mind. But the purpose, the original purpose of meditation was this: the essence of happiness and true freedom. Now, this is a book that we've published. We didn't create. We didn't write it. We wish we had, because it's full of gems. If your life is full of sadness, you've lost direction, you don't know where to head, and you don't want to be going into the hallowed chambers and being told, you know, this is for the faith of God and everything. You know, you don't want to know all that. You just want to know why you're feeling this way and what you can do about it without feeling guilty. Read or get this book in some way and read it. It really is good. Very, very good. After reading this book, if you were by nature depressed, it would be a life changer. You'd have to absorb, be the empty cup, and allow the information to flow in. After reading the book, it's up to you. You can throw it away, you know, throw the information away, discard it. It's up to you. But I recommend that you do read it cover to cover and take your time. Just read a paragraph a day or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your life. It's you. It's going to change you. So you just tailor it around your lifestyle when you have time. But do give it some thought time while you're reading it. Zero limits. We discovered this by accident. We've had a seminar about zero limits. Yeah, and it impacted us as a company so much that we write the blessings from the zero limits in most of our products. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And this researcher found that repeating those 4 sentences over and over and over and over and over can change outcomes, physical outcomes. In the mental institute, violent mental institute, where he worked as a doctor, he closed that institute down because there were no occupants. When he started, there were many patients there, and he didn't even see them face to face. He would look at their card, their record card, and he'd look at the name and he'd just repeat, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Repeat it over and over and over. And improve these people that way. We're to the state where they no longer need to be institutionalized, which is amazing, really, absolutely amazing. The song Breath of the Earth was recorded by a very famous teacher on a mountain where she felt a true connection of between herself and Earth and the flowing of the energy. And she's expressing this in the song. And okay, a tune like this is an uplifting one. It will add to your internal energy levels. Even just have it in the background. It's let's see if I can pause the oops. It's audios like that which inspired us to start making audio devices like our Pulse DMF device, our Magic Pro. But we're not here to talk about it. But what I'm saying is we came to realize the importance of audio. When a baby is first born in the world, it cries. That's the first beautiful sound that the baby makes. As the child is in the mother's womb, it can hear the mother's voice. And you can talk to your child, encourage him. Well, audio has got tremendous power and the ability to give tremendous amounts of energy. Oh gosh, it has come into a sales push, hasn't it? Okay, well, I'll just skip over this one, but it's basically showing two devices that we have which uses audio, pure audio for healing for our Scalar and our Magic Pro. There, gone. Oh, another one. It's true. We have a app which runs on both iPhones and Android, and you can choose audio and send the audio straight to our Magic Pro and get benefit from them. But I really want to skip fast because I'm not a salesperson, not interested. Okay, learn from high energy individuals. Hey, this is super important. This is the thing which I think is probably one of the most important things. The people that you choose to associate with can directly influence your energy level and also the other way around as well. And I guess all of you would know people that when you are with them, they're like an energy vampire. They just suck all the life force out of any happiness that you may have had prior to speaking with them. Whereas other people, you just get even just near them, not even talking to them, and you suddenly feel this warmth. They've got a glow to them. And you think, wow, this is great. This is uplifting. Now, that happens with people that have got enormous energy levels inside them, good energy levels, and they affect many people around them. Now, the spiritual energy of a few individuals can cancel out the negative energy of the majority of people. And you see this in sermons often when you get a beautiful pastor step up and give a sermon. He's influencing an enormous number of people, and they see him as a role model in their lives. And if you learn from them and stay close to them, your energy level will also be raised. We should positively influence those who share karmic connections with us and raise their energy states. Karmic connections means people that you see day to day. They're the people that we're talking about here. So it can be family, can be work associates, can be anyone. People that you generally see regularly. You can directly affect them. When you visit someone in hospital, your energy level, everything about you will directly affect the person that you're meeting. Follow the sages and never forget why you started. Now, in history, we've had a lot of very, very good, powerful, smart people, spirits, helping in various stages. I mean, what springs to mind immediately is Jesus when he came. He showed the path, and he influenced the world, the entire world. Follow the sages and never forget why you started. We must proactively bring ourselves closer to the resources that can help us to take the next leap. That means you've got to seek them. I said before, wisdom doesn't necessarily come easily. You've got to look for it. You won't get wisdom at school, albeit secondary, university, or whatever. You've got to seek it. And you've got to allow those positive energy resources to raise your own frequency. Okay, other people, Confucius, Mencius, Lao Tzu, Bodhisattvas, Buddhas, Jesus, the Virgin Mary, St. Matthew, St. Mark, St. Luke, St. John, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, I thought it was a TH, Teresa, and others. These people gave guidance to us. Without, these people have raised all of humanity's levels. So these are people that have got themselves extremely high energy levels. And so they influenced a lot of people and negated the negative energy levels of others. This is also important. Free ourselves from meaningless thoughts, actions, and relationships. If something is not going to help you in any way to grow physically, mentally, spiritually, why do it? Why? If something has no meaning, then it's just gossip. If someone comes to me and says, they opens their mouth and does a chatter for this person's doing that and that person's doing this, and for entertainment value, I derive zero value from that. Sometimes I tell them, but usually I don't, through politeness. Maybe I should. I've got zero interest in hearing what other people are doing if it doesn't concern me, and in particular, if it's something bad that they're doing. I focus on the positives. I focus on my own personal learning. There's only one me. So I've got to try and direct my resources in the right direction and not waste them on meaningless thoughts, actions, and relationships. I've got to do everything right. I've got one life. And why is it so important to boost energy levels? Well, the answer is quite easy. The world that we live in now is in a state of chaos. We've got wars, we've got so much hatred, division, needless division. It's sapping from us our senses of well-being, and it's all negative. Now, our goal should be to create an environment where we can thrive and flourish. Not just we as in us, but others as well. So we're talking about everything, not just talking about humans either. We're talking about everything. If you're at a high level, you will understand the hardships faced by individuals in society, and it's our duty and passion to make a difference in their lives. You've got to be committed to enhancing well-being for other people and addressing the struggles that they face. Now, it does not matter what faith you believe in. It's got really nothing to do with faith. Well, it does and it doesn't. But it's got much more to do with raising humanity. Wars, I can think of hundreds of wars which were fought for the sake of peace. And really, like thinking Northern Ireland with the Protestants and Catholics, the civil war that was going on there. A Protestant and Catholic, they look exactly the same. Physically, they are exactly the same. It's their beliefs that are different. But it would appear that beliefs don't necessarily mean acceptance. I can shake the hand of any religion and accept them within my circle of friends and family. And I'm hoping that more and more people can do the same. If someone doesn't accept your faith, if someone says, well, you're a Protestant, I'm not going to hang out with you, their cup is full and they're not accepting anything into their cup. And it's sad. Okay, how can you change? I mean, I've been up in my pulpit saying all these things, but how do you put it into practice? I mean, we're all human beings. How do we make a change? It's got to be more than just thinking good thoughts. I mean, anyone can do that. Surely there's something we can do realistically to train ourselves to do this automatically. Now, contemplate. These are these idle moments where you're sort of gazing out into nothing and you're thinking hard. Contemplate and think. Make a list of what people, things, and thoughts help you increase or decrease your energy. Now, this is an example which I would recommend you do either now if you've got a pen and paper handy, or not. If you've really torn up the paper through frustration, you can get another one. Just make a list of at least 5 things that help you boost your energy, make you feel great inside. Just think it on a personal level. It doesn't necessarily mean something which means something to other people, just to yourself, what's important to you and raises your level. Secondly, how do you allocate your time? How much time do you waste on people, things, words, and thoughts that drain your energy? And how much do you invest in activities that enhance your own energy? And finally, what plans do you have to make a positive change? What can you do about it? It's like when a child comes to you, I've broken this toy. And the child might be like, let's say the child's about 10 years old. You look at the child and think, what can you do about it? Well, crying didn't help much. Can you fix it? I can fix it. Well, that's what they can do about it. Fix it. Well, what are we going to do to fix this? Being low in energy is a problem. It's something you can fix. What are you going to do to fix it? Now, here is a chart where you write down the 5 people, things, and thoughts that can help you increase the energy. Examples: visiting teachers and studying, exercising, blessing others from the heart. That's something which is non-physical, but very meaningful. And you think, well, how many times did you spend doing that particular action? So once every 6 months, it's not very often, is it? And what changes can you do? Well, increase the frequency, like once a week, go and visit your teachers and study. It might be that maybe you've got a local club and you enjoy going there. So an activity, it might be bingo, it could be stamp collecting. It doesn't matter. The people that you're with are enormously strong and uplifting. When you go back home after attending that meeting, you're buzzing, you're happy. Well, go there more often. Now you've got to think about 5 things that lower your energy level. Now, you put in your tax returns here because you've got to do them, but meaningless socialization, watching short videos on the phone, complaining. Now, this is actually not good at all, because when you complain about others, those are people that are listening to you complain, think the same of you. It bounces back. They certainly will think that you are a complaining type of person, but also they'll think that you've got some of the characteristics. When I think back, the people that have accused me of doing some nasty things were doing those things themselves. And I was actually in the clear. But I mean, that second part's relative, but the fact that they themselves were projecting themselves onto me. And I couldn't really understand why until I learned more. I gained a little bit more wisdom, and I saw why. And yeah. Oops, I've pushed the. Oh, so that was it. Is that it? That's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'll stop share. Well, that's the end of the presentation. I do actually feel quite strongly about this. You've got to, Pierre, I'll get you just in a little while, as well as other people that have asked questions in the chat. It's something I feel very strongly about. Now, we all have been targets of gossip. Okay, where people say, oh, this person is going out with this other person. I don't think they're good, and this and this and this. Okay, you can't really stop that. You can't. But you can certainly change how it affects you, and you can make it a part of your growth, your personal growth. You can turn it into something absolutely positive. The recognition that that person does that, and so you just avoid that person. Don't bother associating with them. Associate with people that give you this energy, give you happiness, give you joy, and that raises your energy. As your energy level goes up, you can build on that and do bigger, better things. Perhaps 5 years from now, you'll be in a position that right now you can't even envision. You can't see what's over a hill, but when you're standing on the top of the hill, you can see for miles. So you've got to go to the top of that hill through wisdom, thinking about what drains your energy, what increases your energy, increasing the activity, the number of times you do the activities that increase your energy, and then get to the top of the hill and see forever. It actually is a state of bliss. Now, I said at the very beginning, I think before the summer officially started, that's what I was trying to get my voice in tune, that I truly believe that there's hardly any happiness in the world. I define happiness as this. It's not receiving your paycheck or a gift, a bunch of flowers or a kiss. That's joy, a type of joy, superficial joy. But happiness shouldn't be defined as a non-negative. A negative is suffering. So let's say you're suffering for a long time, you haven't got any money, you can't, you haven't got much money, so you can't go to the movies. And then you get paid and you go to the movies and you're happy because you've gone to the movie. I don't define that as happiness in this case. That's a suffering of suffering, where that suffering has disappeared. The suffering is not having the money. Now you've got money. So it's a lack of suffering, not a happiness. And when you look at it at this level, with most of the things in life, happiness is really lack of suffering. If you are feeling unhappy, that's a suffering of suffering. People don't understand, why was someone born into this world with a handicap? You read in the Bible, for various reasons. I won't really go into it. But then you can discover more, much more. And that's in the wisdom side. And I'm not going to preach or anything, but everyone's got their paths. But above everything else, have the empty cup and don't exclude. If someone's got a belief, normally it's for a good reason, still accept them. Okay, just going through all the chats that have taken place whilst I was mumbling through the PowerPoint. Okay, and it's wonderful to see that the reach has gone so far. People are saying where they're from. I mean, okay, Queensland and Australia. Australia is the little island just off the west coast of New Zealand. Canada, Alabama, Arizona, Quebec, Vancouver, and it's just so Hong Kong, another one from Australia, Luxembourg. We're right over the world. You know, whenever I do my seminars, I know I haven't done them for a while, but whenever I do it, I'd like to hear where people are from. It's interesting thinking about the countries, but equally so, it's great to know that we are touching people so distant from where I am. Trinidad, you know, like America and Pennsylvania. It's just amazing to know that people in so many different countries are listening to these seminars. Now, in saying that, I gave it a little bit of a pause because it's kind of like self. It's not that I'm thinking important. It's because I'm happy knowing that more and more people are gaining some wisdom, hopefully, from these seminars. Okay, now there's a question. It's a bit of a long one. Gosh, it's a long one. Okay. Okay. Yes, and it's a good point. This was Maximus. He was talking about David Hawkins' energy numbers. Now, he's stressing that the numbers are not absolute. They're not physical numbers, like you jump onto a weigh scale and then it shows up how many pounds you weigh. No, it's not that. And it's true, it's not. But it's Dr. David Hawkins' way of expressing relative to different scales, different traits of emotions and activities. What he wanted to say, well, this is twice as important as that. So I'll start with 0 and go up to 200, where most people are. And then what is twice as good as the 200? And that became 400. And it was like that. It wasn't a scale. So that's a very valid point. What's Muji? Pierre, what is Muji? He said, I sound like Muji. And William's saying intent is the essence. Intent is everything. If someone has the intent to steal, they have stolen. Now, it's covered in the Bible. It's covered in other religious books. The intent is absolutely everything. Just because you haven't put it into action, it means nothing. Intent is everything. Even if it's beyond your abilities, intent is everything. Okay. Right. And yep. Okay. Do thought come from yourselves? Okay. Pierre is asking what I've talked about. Has it come from ourselves? Most of it hasn't. Most of it has come from people much more clever than ourselves. What I've expressed in the seminar. I have injected some of my personal views. It doesn't mean I'm smart. I've just passed on the smartness from one really clever person to you. Yes, and actually, Charmaine, can I read what you say? Because there's a bit of wisdom in this. Every thought generates another thought that is in alignment with that thought. So we must choose a better thought when we realize that we are forking in the wrong direction. That's F-O-R-K for those who think my accent might say something else. So what Charmaine is saying is Try and keep all your thoughts pure. Try and keep them all good. Even slightly negative thoughts can grow into larger ones. And yes, Kesahan, there's always watcher, observer, and no one watching for ethics. That's right. If no one's, this is actually a really good point. Thanks, Kesahan. I'll repeat what you're saying in different words. Now, he's talking about ethics and I guess morals as well. Let's say you've got strong ethics and you do the right thing. What if no one's watching you? No one is there to judge you, or no one that you know of. Do you still do the same thing? Do you still do the same thing if no one rewards you? And if no one's there to punish you? Are you someone who jumps red lights if there's no camera to catch you? Things like this. Or do you think about it? And William is saying many religions have were corrupted by controlled people. It is true, but it's something I don't want to put weight on during this discussion. I have not got my viewpoints, but I think if you do focus on having a strong sense of what's good and what's bad, it doesn't matter what's been corrupted, as long as you know to always keep that cup at least not full. And so you are still willing to look and willing to learn. But I 100% agree with you, William. A lot of religions, and why were they? Because it's power, just control over the population and keeping things, just keeping things under control. Probably not so much now, but it's for different reasons. Now it's generally for power, now for money. But what can we do? We can't do anything, but you can do everything up here. Everything. No one, not one single person can control your thoughts except you. Oh, okay. Tess Murphy. Yep, Tess here. Hi, Tess. Charles F. Hanel's book, The Master Key, is exactly about what you're talking about, John. So, okay, I'm going to make a note of that, and I'm going to get that book, and I'm going to read it. Because I want to build on what I know. I know that my understanding is still superficial. I know that there's a lot I've got to learn. So thanks for that, Tess. Thanks for that recommendation. And the comment with Maria. Okay, now what Maria is talking about is, well, I'll change your words, Maria, because I'll put into the way that I understand your point. Maria makes the point that our formal education tends to block off a lot of our innate intelligence, the intelligence we were born with. And meditation helps us to regain that intelligence. It seems like the faster I scroll down the questions, the faster, the more there are, because there's now 59 new ones. Okay. William gives a quote from Sufi. I searched for myself and found God. I searched for God and found myself. God created us, so of course we are God. God wants us to be perfect. We should strive for that. Ho'oponopono. That's what I was talking about before with the karmic management. Oh, Jill's asking, where are those Spooky 2 Frequency Heals apps? They're in the app stores. If you go to the Android or the Google Play Store, or if you go to the Apple Store, you'll find it there. Frequency Heals, it's called. And actually, what William says, most people know this saying, and William, I'll just repeat it. Birds of a feather, or they say flock together, like attracts like, and be careful who you wish for. So it is true. If you better yourself, you will better those around you, and you will attract better people. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. One of friends. Yura, sorry for laughing out loud, but Yura said that one of the friends, our friends, we've got a lot of friends on YouTube, they lifted in prayer before the Most High for me that my voice would recover. And look at me, my voice has recovered. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Now I've just skimmed through it. I'm sorry I'm not giving justice to all the people that have contributed. Okay. Okay, I think I've covered all the questions and comments. And I appreciate that it's not a good time for a lot of viewers. It's getting quite late. Okay, la-di-da-di-da. And okay, and they're talking about where to watch the videos afterwards. And I think that's covered everything. If there's no questions specifically to do with what I've talked about, which is about raising your energy levels and then helping others do the same, please ask now or forever hold your peace. Gosh, there's so many. Really is. And people say where they're from, Germany and Panama, and it seems like there's a lot of people from Canada, Delaware. Oh, I don't think I can catch up with the number of people. And Muji is an Indian internet guru. Thanks, Paul, for that. Okay, should mean that I can be. Okay, now this is a question from Lee Birch. I've always believed that being very connected should mean that I can be free of disease, yet I'm not, i.e. chronic fatigue syndrome and others. So feeling that unwellness can be a soul path. It is true. In being unwell, there's so many reasons for illness. And I mean, if someone really wants to know, I can cover it later. Why some babies are born with diseases, why people can do really good things in their life and still be stricken with disease. Blindness and all other conditions. There is a reason. There is a very good reason why that happens. And I'd love to tell you, but that's really something which, to give it credit, I have to cover properly. And so, and maybe it's not the right venue either, because I'm trying to keep my own opinions and views and beliefs out and just try and stick with the facts and things that everyone can apply no matter what path they're following. I mean, every religion says, be good, be good. Be good to others. Another thing they say. Well, do it. Okay. There are a lot of words about Muji is born in Jamaica, and that discussion carried on a little bit. Oh my goodness, 74? Oh no, I've reached the bottom. How's that? I've reached the bottom. And authentic heart brings the highest vibration. You'll hear a lot of phrases that are uplifting. Those are words that do raise your energy level. Maybe if something means a lot to you, you can write it down on a piece of paper, stick it onto the fridge, and just on occasion glance at them when you need an energy boost. Okay, Jill is asking, how important is meditation in our ascension? There's no one answer. You don't have to meditate at all. So in that case, I would tend to say it's not important. However, for you to have a sensitivity of the universe, I would recommend meditation. It's not compulsory. It's, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd probably say probably about 20, 30. So not, I wouldn't place great importance on meditation, regardless of what other people say. I've been meditating for years now. It's okay for me, and it's part of my lifestyle. But until just a reasonably short time ago, it was a drag. It was a nuisance. I'm a busy person. My mind's always active, and I've always got things on the boil. I just, in my mind, I was thinking, I don't have time to sit down and do nothing for 20 minutes. But when I came to understand the purpose of meditation, then it changed. It then became, it notched up in my own personal priorities. And now it is important. I'll catch you next time, Charmaine. Yeah, it's when I came to understand, it's nothing to do with you having visions, and it's nothing magical. It's just becoming more sensitive and coming to realize things. And I did that by, where did I learn this? It was a book I read where I always thought I was lousy at meditating, and I was lousy at meditating. But in this book, they said, step back and look at yourself meditating. Visualize your meditation. Imagine you're an experiment, right? And I do lots of experiments, so that sort of language aligns with my mindset. And just observe yourself when you meditate. You can observe your breathing, your heartbeats, anything, itchiness or anything. It doesn't matter. Just observe yourself. And what you find is that even after meditating during the course of a day, you're kind of meditating still. You're still in a partial meditative state because you notice things you would never have noticed. And you think things that you would never have thought before either. And there's nothing magical. It's just training, like running is training for fitness. Meditation is training for sensitivity. So that you might be an empty cup, but the cup's got a lid on it. When you meditate, you can lift that lid off, and then the knowledge can flow. Yeah, Alice is nice to see you, mate, Alice. I know a lot of people, these time zones are horribly wrong. But Alice Alice is a very good friend of ours, a beautiful soul. She makes the comment that our thoughts create our reality. Meditation helps to create order in the chaos. It truly does. When things just look, let's say things in your life are hopeless, just complete disarray. Okay. Meditate, close your eyes, think of nothing. Try and think of nothing. Your mind starts going to the problems, trying to address them as they would during the day. Pull your mind back. Just think, oh, that's right, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Just drag it back, drag it back. And you'll have to do that hundreds of times, especially at the beginning. You just can't help being the dancing monkey. But soon you'll train yourself to just find inner peace. And when you find the inner peace, you'll discover outer peace. Because meditation puts everything into order. Suddenly things aren't so chaotic anymore. You can see a lot of things that you can't see through the practice of meditation. Through the chaos, you can see beautiful patterns, and you can see your path. You do gain wisdom in meditation. It's not wisdom which you've gained from elsewhere, it's gained from within. Okay. And Lee makes the comment, time is fabulous and greatly appreciated, as many are not. Gratitude from Aussies and Kiwis, I'm sure. Well, you'll be surprised to hear, Lee, that the Kiwis do share a brain as well. So I'm hoping that this has reached some Kiwis as well. Kiwis being the loving term for New Zealanders. Yeah. Well, I hope that you have learned something from the Sama. It's very different from other sermons which I've had where I either interview someone or talk about something physical. It might be a product release or something which is quite tangible. But here we're talking about something which is inside, and it's hard to talk about it without some people thinking, well, hang on a moment. I saw a picture of a Buddha, so it's going to be Buddhism or something stupid like this. It absolutely isn't. It's not about, we could have had, Jesus or Mary or anyone there. It's just what we chose. The thought, the message that we want to give is that it's inside you. The answers are inside you. You can gain a tremendous amount of knowledge by being the empty cup without a lid. Just take, I mean, at the very least, let's say you think what I've said is rubbish. At the very, very least, be more easygoing in your life. Don't be so judgmental. This is, they are Anglicans. I don't associate with Anglicans. I'm not going to talk to him, or I'm not going to make him my friend or allow him to be my friend. Just be more open, easygoing. Hey, you're a monk from Nepal. Great. Oh, you're Catholic from Ireland. Wonderful. Hey, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about things. Talk about things. Be open. And let the goodness flow. Don't be a closed empty vessel. A saying that I heard was, light doesn't empty a closed box. And here the light is talking about enlightenment. Our ultimate goal is enlightenment. Enlightenment is the realization, and it's knowledge, the realization, the foresight. Enlightenment is our ultimate goal, where we don't fear things that everyone fears. We don't fear death. We don't fear pain. We have an understanding. Enlightenment is all this. And to live a life without fear, really without fear, that is happiness. Isn't it? Yeah. Well, I've been quite happy to present this summer. As I said, I was a little bit hesitant. I wasn't sure whether people would be thinking this is a big push towards Chinese communism or something, And I'm not Chinese, and I'm not communist, and I'm a floater. Okay, I'm a floater. I gain knowledge from all the corners of the world. I gain knowledge from the American Indians as well. It's not interesting, but lots, all corners of life. If you've ever been to a country and you think, gosh, that's kind of cool what they do, and then you start thinking, well, I can do that too. And you do, or you sort of learn something from different behaviors and this. Do it. Just float and drift, and don't be fixed into one way. There's lots of ways. But that's what I recommend, to raise your level of energy. Associate with good people. Think good thoughts. Do good actions. And be good. And your life will become amazing. And you'll learn a lot too. Oh, I forgot about that one. Become wise. Learn from people, from books, from videos. People that, you've got to be careful. You've got to be choosy. You've got to not gravitate towards these people that have got 2 million followers on YouTube, and they're very charismatic, but their agenda may be for fame, their click numbers, or you've got to be careful. But that's you'll come to know through meditation what to go for. Well, thanks everyone for participating. We broke a new record. We reached 120 online viewers, and I'm sure there's many, many more on YouTube. So thanks for watching. I've got nothing else to say. And hey, thank you so much for praying for me and my voice, because since that time, I've had no problem. I have not got a strong voice. In life, I believe if you've got something important to say it. And if you don't. And because I don't normally have things important to say, I normally don't really say much. I say the important things, like to my loved ones, I say, I love you, thank you very much, and things like this. But I hardly ever ramble on like I do now. Oh, I never do. And yeah, no, that helped. That prayer helped. And yeah, if you can, all of you, pray for humanity in the world. Pray for an end to the harmful things that are happening. Pray for humanity. Pray that we can get through it all in one piece. Pray that we are all the same. We think Russians. We're not thinking the things that happen on the political stage. It's the leaders. It's not the people. People are scared, just like us. They're worried about where they're going to get their paychecks from, how they're going to put food on the table. They're the same as us. Russia, Ukraine, everywhere. They should stop throwing their toys at each other and start just reset, do a big reset. That's what we should pray for, I think, a reset. And not just with the wars, but with everything, you know. And pray that people become more generous, give more. Richness and reward comes from giving, not from having. Enough said. And I've got to apologize for those. I think it was 2 slides which showing spooky products. I didn't make the PowerPoint, okay? And yeah, it kind of took from the main theme of things, but it was there anyway. We do have those 2 products, but I mean, for goodness sake, just play it on any audio player. A beautiful sound that gives you energy, a loving energy. It doesn't have to be us. One of our products. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye. Till next time, which might be a year from now. Actually, it's not. I'm going to be on coffee time. What are we talking about? We're talking about charity. Oh, gosh, charity work. I mean, charity is fantastic. It's not that I'm worried about. It's just when we say we have done this, we have done that. And I know we're going to say it. And I'm not going to be allowed to sort of apologize for that on the day, because my wife's going to be beside me, see, and I can't correct her online anyway. So when I'm talking about what we have done as a company, scrub that, substitute your name. You are all customers of ours. You've all contributed to the charity work. So every time we say spooky too, think you have. And then it'll be much less painful. Yeah. Okay. See you till it's next week. Yeah, next time. You was correcting me. Next week, summer coffee time. Yep. And the purpose, of course, for the charity work is not for self-promotion. I mean, if we could do it anonymously, we do. But this is other things that we think, okay, it encourages more people to give. That's all. That's the only reason why we do it. It's not pounding our chest and saying we are wonderful, we're great. We're holding up a giant check in front of these important people, and yeah, no, we don't do that. Don't do it. But everything that we can do, we do to help these people that are less fortunate than ourselves. Okay, take care, everyone. Till next time, next week. Bye. Oh yeah. Well, that's it, everyone. Yep. Hey, thank you for participating. It's been good. I recognize a lot of the people that are online, the names of people that have become our friends. A lot of you have become friends. A lot of you are friends that we've never met face to face. In fact, most of you. we hope to become globetrotters one day. So hopefully by the thinking a nasty thing might happen at the end of this year, but if it doesn't, then great. We'll start our globetrotting again and start meeting you again, face to face. When we meet when you do meet you, well, I tell you, this is just between you and me. When we went to America, I'd never been to a place where there's other people that I'd only known through the internet, through emails and through Zoom and Skype and stuff. And I met these people face to face. I was really humbled at how good they were, how they were helping other people in the community. I mean, even things like Gwen, who lives in Florida, she helps the rabbits, the rabbits which would otherwise be euthanized, and that she looks after them and takes them to the vets and gets them well again and then gets them adopted. People with really loving hearts, all of them amazing, and we were humbled. We thought, well, these are the people that we want to associate with, so that we can raise our energy levels and become as good as them. And yeah, we have become choosy. If someone's a energy vampire, we just keep well away from them. We just don't want to draw them into our circle. We try and help people that need help, certainly. But some people are truly closed boxes. They truly very hard. They're not willing to change, and they're very, very negative. And we don't really associate too much with people like that. Yeah, but I was very humbled when I shook the hands of people that were my friends, very, very good friends, but I'd never met them face to face. I was moved to tears in one of the presentations, because I was talking about one machine, and this other lady, I looked at her, and she had got one of her early machines, and she had prevented some people from dying. And her happiness was from that. She didn't charge money. Her reward was that. And she had blessed us with her presence in this conference. And yeah, I was touched. So yeah, Spooky is now full of amazing people with the right ideals. Beautiful, beautiful people. And we want to meet them and thank them. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.